Hello there, my name is Mr. Peter. I'm here to show you how this system works. It is an exam analysis system, and it's a fully Excel based system, automated Excel system. So it's like a free system. It's not web based, so when you get it in your computer you can use it forever. So I'm opening the system right now. You can see it is the exam analysis system. So when it opens, maximize the window and enable. So if it opens and brings up this security warning that some active content has been disabled, you click for more details. You need to enable content. You won't be able to use the system without enabling this content, so you need to enable that content first. And when you enable that content, as a login window pops up, you can see the Excel window has closed and another login window has popped up. So this first part is where you enter your user ID. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to enter the admin. Admin is the user ID and the password. If you enter the wrong password and try to log in, it doesn't go through. So you have to enter the correct password and then log in. When you log in now, the system opens, and generally this is how the dashboard looks like. This is where you can access all the items in this system. So we will be navigating through some of the, I think all of them, so that you see how it goes through. So the first part is the name of the school. This other part it says choose subject. So this is where you can choose the subject. If you want to enter the marks for any subject, you can click any subject. So for example, let's assume it is geography. When you click geography there, it takes you to the geography sheet. You can see, you can confirm the name here. The name will always be this in this cell cell C4. So when you go back to the master sheet and click any other subject like CRE, you can see cell C4, it has the name of that subject. So you can always confirm the name of the subject that you want. So we're in geography, and here is the list of all the students, the class, the admission number. When you want to enter the marks, you can see the first part here is the Form 1, Term 1. And we have three types of exams. We have the opener, midterm, and the end term. So this is where you enter the marks for the students. You choose whether it is the opener, the midterm, or the end term. You enter the marks according to how the students appear in the list. So that is Form 1, Term 1. When you want to go to the Form 1, Term 2, you use the arrow key button, the right arrow key button, and you press. You see it takes you to Form 1, Term 2. We have the same three types of exam: the opener, midterm, and end term. You can see that is Form 1, Term 2. Use the arrow key button. Form 1, Term 3. So this one takes you all the way to Form 4, Term 3. So that means the system works for a whole 4 years, from year 1, that is Form 1, to Form 4. So this is where you put the marks. One thing I want you to notice, this cell that is below the cell that is written out of, this 100 has to be there. If we remove that 100, these marks will not be converted into the grades. You can see, if I remove that 100, the grades disappear. You can see, if I remove that 100, the grades disappear. So this 100 has to be there, because the marks that you put for the students are converted into percentages. That's when you get the grades. So note that when you are done with the marks, putting the marks in the correct period, you go back to the master sheet. So that's what this is for, the subjects. You can go to the analysis now. You click that button named analysis. So I want you to note this. If you open that analysis sheet, it is always good to reset or clear anything that was here before. So reset that. So you click this button, reset stroke clear, everything disappears. So the first three columns are the ones that we'll use to choose the time that you want to analyze. So this is for the year 1, term 1, term 2, term 3, midterms and end terms. This is year 2, the same, term 1, term 2, term 3, midterms and end terms. Year 3 and up to year 4 here. So you choose the time that you want. So for this demonstration, I have put in the marks for form 1, term 1 and term 2. So we can analyze any of these four, either year 1, term 1, midterm, or this, or year 1, term 2, end term. We can analyze any. I have not put the marks for the rest. So when you want to, maybe I can click this button, year 1, term 2, end term. That is the end term for the term 2 for the form 1s. So when I click that button, it does the analysis. It looks for the marks that we had entered in the subjects. So it is always good to confirm whether what has appeared here is what you had chosen. So you can see it says it is form 1, term 2, end term. So that's what I wanted. I wanted form 1, term 2, end term. So it's okay. So by default, this list is the merit list. This merit list appears in the format that the students have been listed in the student details. We can go back slightly to the master sheet and click here the student list details, student details. So this is a list of all the students in that class. You have the nominal number, admission, the name, class, KCPE, fee balance and sex. VAP and index number, I've left them blank for now because the VAP is being calculated automatically in the report form. Index number is mostly for the form 4s. So nominal number is what is in order in this list. Only nominal number. The admission number doesn't have to be in order, can be any. So they can be in any order. They doesn't have to follow each other consecutively, but the nominal number has to. The nominal number column, that one has to follow each other consecutively. So let's go back to the master sheet. Let's go to analysis. So this is the analysis that you have done, and the students here appear in the way they appear in the students list. So this is nominal number 1, nominal number 2, up to the last person there. So you can see the last person that is here, this person. So this is the way the list appears. So you can rank that by position if you want. If you want to get the merit lists when the students are ranked in position, you can do that by clicking this button here. You can also rank them by VAP. VAP, that will be the VAP referenced from the KCPE marks. We have converted the KCPE marks of the students to high school or secondary schools points. So we now compare in this exam the number of points the student has got, and then you compare to what. So maybe for example, that button, you compare. So you can see these are the points that the student has got in this exam. This is the total points. So for example, this student has got 10 points out of 12, the possible 12 points. Against, now we compare this against what the person got in KCPE. This is the VAP for the KCPE. So we compare the two. We take the current and then you minus what the student got in KCPE. The difference will tell you whether the person has done well or maintained, or maybe done very poorly. So you can see this is the highest deviation, 1.7. That means this person has done very well compared to how the person did in KCPE in this exam, that is. So it is in order from the first person to the last person. Now you can see that one. So that is ranked by VAP. We also have other buttons here. You can print this merit list. If you want to print, you just click this button, the output comes, but you will see the print preview first before printing out the copy. So we have a master sheet. This one will take you back to the dashboard. We can go now to the cluster analysis. But before we go to the cluster analysis, we need to reorder this merit list in the order that was there by default. So you need to reset and click these buttons once again. You can't go to these other buttons when you have sorted this data in any way. So this data has to remain the way it was, that is by default, and then that's when you can access these other sheets. Cluster analysis, this one gives you now the grid distribution by gender and for the whole class. So for example, I can clear this. Let me clear this. If it is blank, you just use this button here called analyze. You just click that button there, it does the analysis, it looks for all the information, for all the marks, and it inputs. So you can see it has done the calculations and it is done, it is through. So this first part here, you can see it is the overall subject analysis for the whole class. This is a subject entry, it is the entry, the number of students who did that paper. This is how many A's are in English, how many A minus are there, all the way up to E, how many E's are in English, and X is the number of students who didn't sit for that English paper. The current is the current mean for this term, the one you have done from 1 term to end term is the current mean for English. For all the 11 subjects, they are here. So this one below, the second table, it shows the performance by gender now for boys. Now this one you have separated. This one also for the whole class, this one is for boys. Another one below here is for girls, the grade distribution in girls, and also the current means per subject, and also we have an overall summary table here. An overall summary, it shows the overall class, the number, the grade distribution for boys and girls and for the whole class, you can see, and also the mean for the whole class here. So this one can help in some analysis of grade distribution per subject, analysis per subject. After that, you can go maybe to the report forms. So generally, this is the outlook of a report form. Looks like. So what you need to change in the report forms is only the nominal number. Remember the nominal number you have seen in the student details. So that means it runs from the nominal number 1, that is student, the first student, to the last student, nominal number last. So in our case, I think we have nominal up to nominal number 63. So when I put nominal number 1 there, everything changes, starting from the admission number, the name of the student, the KCPE marks, everything, even the marks. You can see that is for nominal number 1, nominal number 2 there, even the marks change, nominal number 3, nominal number 4, so everything changes. So there is a graph down here. This is a graph that shows the trend analysis from the KCPE points, how the person will be doing up to the year 4 term 3. So these persons had 5 points, year 1 term 1 3 is 3.18 points, year 1 term 2. So this person, this graph is moving downwards. So this means this person is dropping since the KCP. So that is nominal number 3. If we change and maybe go to nominal number, for example, nominal number 12. Nominal number 12, now this is the graph for nominal number 12. You can see all the graphs are different. And here we have some other information. Next term begins on and ends on UFE balance. This one we will set it in the dashboard. So we have the position in class, that is position in this term, position number 2 out of 61, that is in this term. Last term the person was in position 1 out of 61. These are the points. These are the students' point here, and the form, the whole form, the points for the form and the grades. So you can see it shows clearly. the index. Here the index, we have converted the KCPE marks into index. So this is the index, and now the points for the student in this exam, you can see the deviation is an addition, so that's an improvement. So generally that's how the report forms looks like. And we have a button here, this button, print report forms button. This, when you click this button, the report forms will be printed starting from nominal number 1 up to the last nominal number. So if you want to print these report forms, you just click this button here and connect your computer to the printer, and then the printouts come out. So let's go back to the master sheet. So we have looked at the subjects, we have looked at the analysis, class analysis, report forms, student details. Let's go back to the student details a little bit. Let's assume maybe you want to maybe assume a student has transferred from the school and you need to remove that student from this list. So to do that, you can do that manually. So for example, even if there are 2 or 3 students, you just highlight. So maybe you say the last 3 students, or maybe the last 2 students have transferred and you need to remove them from the list. So you just highlight them that way and you right click somewhere in between, and then you delete. The list goes. So that is for removing. If you want to add a student, you can do that. There are 2 ways you can do that, and one of them is manually. You can see the last nominal number is 63. No, it is 61. So you add it is 62. The next one, admission number, you can guess it is 30. The name might be maybe Faith Wangoi maybe, and class will be the same class as the other students. Marks, KCPE marks, you can guess it is 200. If the student has a balance, you write it down here. If the student has no balance, you write a 0. So that one will depend on how the student fee balance looks like, and you enter the gender for the student. So that's one way you can add a student to this list. Another way, you can add a student. There's a button here called form. You can see it is here, form button. When you click that form button, but you need first to click somewhere in between in this list, anywhere in this list. So you just click anywhere in between and then you click this button, form. You can see it opens up another window called student details. It says it is 1 of 62. That means nominal numbers run from number 1 to 62. Then that means if another student comes, it will be 63. So when you want to add a new student, you click new. The nominal number will be 63. The admission number you input there. The name of the student, maybe it is Brian, maybe Nani, maybe. Class will be the same class as the other students. KCPE marks, that one has to be there. VAP don't have to put. Index number, it's not a must there. The fee balance, if the student maybe might be having a fee balance, you can put there. The sex, maybe that's a male now. When you are done, you close. Now let's check the last nominal number was 62, so it's okay. We have added the 63, so you can see it appears there. So there is another table here called general data. General data now shows the general information for the whole class: the name of the class, the total number of male students, the total number of female students, the total number of students in that class, and then maybe the name of the class teacher. So that's how a student's list is. And when you update it there, automatically in the subjects list, the students are added. So maybe you can confirm that. Maybe you go to the biology sheet, there are 2 students maybe you have added. So these are the 2 that we have removed, and these are the ones that we have added. So when you want the order to follow each other, you can maybe highlight that way, and you take your cursor up to where you see a bold cross button, and you drag downwards that way, so you can see the order is okay. So you go back to the master sheet. So we go now to the teachers part, and the teachers and grading system are in the same sheet. So whenever you click any of these, we will go to the same sheet. So let's go to teachers. It takes you to this sheet. This is where now you input the subject teachers for different subjects and different classes. These are the comments for the report forms according to how the student has performed. This is the names of the class teachers, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. And this is now the grading system. The grading system for humanities and languages, this is how it looks like. Grading system for sciences and maths, this is the way it looks like, and the overall grading system. A has 12 points and E has a 1 point. So we can go back to the master sheet. So there's a part, before we look at this, there's a part here. We are told to set general information, closing date and opening date, and the fee next time. This will appear in the report forms. So closing date, when you want to change that, we just click in that cell, and you choose the date using this calendar now. So you navigate using this calendar. So let's say they closed on 17th December 2020. You click there, the date appears. Opening date for the students, opening date for the students, you also use the calendar to navigate. So you click in that cell, and now you select the date for opening. That was 5th January 2021. So the fee next time, you can select there. If it is 5,000, you just type 5,000. This will appear automatically in the report forms. So lastly, maybe you can look at this part here. This is the database. This is where the marks are kept. So for example, here you see these are year 1 to year 2, year 3, and year 4. So year 1, term 1, term 2, term 3. Term 1, this one has the midterm and end term exam results for the year 1. So when you click this part here, it takes you to this part. So you can see the cells that have, the columns have selected. This one now carries the cluster analysis, the one that shows the grade distribution by gender. So this one is for the midterm, and the other columns here by side, it shows the merit lists. It shows the merit list for the students for the same midterm 1. So when you go down, you will see somewhere we have a distinction of this color, and immediately after that we have now the end term. So the upper part has the midterm results, and the lower part has the end term results. So this is the cluster analysis for the end term, and we have the merit lists for the end term. So that is for year 1, term 1. So it is all similar up to year 4, term 3. So generally that's how the system operates, and I would say it's a very cool system. It's an easy system to understand because it's in Excel, and also in terms of payment, this one is a very cheap system to maintain because it's an Excel system. Because if you install this in your computer, you will use it forever. This one does not require a monthly or maybe termly or maybe yearly subscriptions. So this one is just a one-time payment system, and it will serve you for the rest of your time maybe. So here is my contact. You can contact me, and also in this comment section, please comment and I'll get back to you. So thank you very much, and may God bless you.